Hi, my name is Muhammad Daniel Fitri bin Mazlan, BMF 2007014.
My name is Wan Nur Ain Hassana binti Warazaman. My ID number is BMF 2007 and 049.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I am Puterino Balkis binti Nur Hazlan with ID number BMF 2007051.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I'm Nurbatusha binti Muhammad Ar-Rahman and my ID number is BMF 2007050. For our research, we had been given a task to propose on unit trust Shariah as an investment product based on the investment concepts. Shariah-based unit trust is a Shariah-compliant collective investment scheme that allows investors with similar investment objectives to pool their funds together. Professional funds manager will invest the money in a Shariah-compliant shares portfolio and fixed income securities, as well as other Shariah-compliant money market instruments in accordance with the fund's aim and investment plan. A Shariah-based unit trust fund's typical structure includes a manager who oversees the fund investment and operations, a trustee who safeguards the unit holders' right and interests, unit holders who are investors entitled to proportionate share of the fund's asset, and the trust deed, which is a legally binding agreement between the manager, trustee, and unit holder. The Shariah-based unit trust fund's major source of investment is Shariah-compliant instruments, primarily Shariah-compliant equities shares. Shariah-based unit trust funds have different investment objectives depending on the type of fund. It determines the riskiness of a fund as well as the type of investor is targeted at. The aim for this research is to provide better understanding on the product that has been offered by unit trust in different financial institutions. This includes on the background of the products, performance of the product, features and characteristics, differences, initial investment and method of investment. Thus, the main products that we choose for this research are Islamic Cash Management and PSN Dana Shariah Money Market.
I will explain about products of unit trust based on Shariah compliance. Based on the investment concept of unit trust, we are required to choose two similar products of Islamic unit trust from two different financial institutions. Thus, we decided to propose unit trust products of Islamic money market from Funds Management Berhad and Pemodalan BSN Berhad. The first product that we choose is Islamic Cash Management. It is an Islamic money market fund issued by Fund Management Berhad that aims to provide regular stream of monthly income and liquidity by investing primarily in Islamic deposits and Islamic money market instruments. Next, the second product that we choose is BSN Dana Shariah Money Market. It is an Islamic money market fund issued by Pemodalan BSN Berhad that seeks to provide short-term liquidity and income while maintaining capital stability. Next is the background of the products. The Islamic money market was introduced by Bank Negara Malaysia to promote a comprehensive Islamic banking system in the country. The development of Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad was promoting more players in the system. The first product that we choose is PSN Dana Shariah Money Market. This product will be categorized under Islamic Money Market Fund and trusted by Amanah Raya Trustee Berhad. The Shariah advisor for this fund is Tawafuk Consultancy Sendirian Berhad. Plus, this product has been launched at 1st August 2017. Hence, this product will allocate at least 90% of net asset value in Islamic deposit as well as Islamic money market instrument which have remaining maturity period of not more than 365 days and another 10% of its net asset value in other permitted investments which have a remaining maturity period of more than 365 days but less than 732 days. Money market is the financial market for short-term borrowing, typically for terms less than a year. Second product that we choose is Islamic Cash Management. This fund is aims to provide regular stream of monthly income and liquidity by investing primarily in Islamic deposit and Islamic money market instruments. This fund is suitable for investors seeking to invest excess cash over the short term, a Shariah-compliant investment that provides regular stream of income and access to liquidity by the next day. Hence, this product will be categorized under money market in Islamic. This product has been launched at 27 November 2017. Plus, this product will allocate 90% of funds net asset value into Islamic deposits and Islamic money market instruments or Islamic investment account, and another 10% of the funds will allocate to Islamic liquid assets.
Now, let's move to the performance of the product. For Islamic Cash Management, the annual total return for our review for each class for the financial year ended 13 November 2020. For Class A, the fund gets return of 2.57%, which is outperformed with the benchmark, which is 1.46%, which is increasing by 1.11%. For Class B, the return get from the fund is 2.61%, which is outperformed from the benchmark, which is 1.46%, increasing 1.15%. For Class C, the return get from the fund is 2.06%, which is outperformed from the benchmark 1.46%, increasing by 1.2%. Next, for BSN Dana Shariah Money Market, the annual total return the fund get from the BSN Dana Shariah Money Market Fund year 2018 is 3.54%, which is outperformed from the benchmark 3.19%. In the year 2019 is 3.5%, which is outperformed from the benchmark, which is 3.2%. For the year 2020, the fund is 2.21%, which is also outperformed from the benchmark 1.35%. Next is Portfolio Turnover Ratio (PTR), the performance product of the Islamic Cash Management for PTR. In the year 2020, the PTR decreased by 4.23 times, which is 42.9% compared to 10.05 times in 2019, mainly due to decrease of investing activities. In 2019, it increased 6.07 times, which is more than 100% as compared to the 3.98 times in 2019, mainly due to increasing of the investing activities. Next, for the Portfolio Turnover Ratio BSN Dana Shariah Money Market, in the year 2018 is 1.14 times. In the year of 2019, decreasing to 0.633 times due to low investment activities. In the year of 2020, it increased 1.83 times because of the increasing of the investment activities.
So, I will explain you about the features and characteristics of BSN Dana Shariah Money Market. The features and characteristics for this fund is under Islamic Money Market Fund category, and the objective of the fund is to offer short-term liquidity and income while ensuring capital stability. Risk profile of the fund is low. The performance benchmark is Maybank 1 month GIA Tier 1 rate, and the fund's risk profile is distinct from the benchmark risk profile. The investment policy aims to invest in low-risk, liquid Shariah-compliant investment that have the capacity to provide capital stability. The fund invests in Islamic deposit or Islamic money market instruments to fulfill its goal of providing short-term liquidity and income while ensuring capital stability. For asset allocation, the fund must invest at least 90% of its net asset value is invested in Islamic deposits and Islamic money market instruments with a maturity duration of less than 365 days and another authorized investment with a remaining maturity time of more than 365 days but less than 732 days may account for up to 10% of its net NAV. The distribution policy is the fund will distribute revenue at least once a month, depending on income availability. The minimum holdings for this fund are known. The manager reserves the right to impose any minimum holdings at any time. The possible outcomes of investing in this fund are the increase or decrease of its net asset value, possibility to have capital gain or capital loss, and income distribution or known as dividend. Now, you already know the features about BSN, so I am going to present you about Islamic Cash Management. Islamic Cash Management is under Islamic Money Market category and the fund type is income. The fund aims to invest in Islamic deposits and Islamic money market instruments to generate a steady source of monthly income and liquidity. The performance benchmark also is Maybank 1 month GIA 1 month rate. Asset allocation for this product is a minimum of 90% of the fund is net asset value in Islamic deposits, Islamic money market instrument and or Islamic investment accounts, and up to 10% of the fund is net asset value in Islamic liquid assets. On a daily basis, all investment income will be accumulated and distributed to unit all holders. Therefore, monthly revenue is paid within 14 days at the end of each month or on complete redemption. Now, I am going to highlight the differences between the products. In terms of net asset value, for Islamic Cash Management is 1.00 or 0%, while net asset value of BSN Dana Shariah Money Market is 1.02 or negative 0.19%. Meanwhile, the total assets for Islami are 2.4 billion and BSN achieved 51.8 million of assets. For minimum initial investment in Islami is only 5,000 while BSN is 100,000 ringgit. In trailing 12 months yield, TTM yield refers to the fund's average returns over the past 12 months. For Islami is 1.71% and BSN is lower than Islami, which is 0.98%. Islami also get higher turnover than BSN, which is 582% and BSN is only 182%. In Islami, the fund's class will be determined by the manager depending on the client's first investment account. Clients who invest 5,000 ringgit to 39,999 ringgit, they will classify by Class A. If they want to invest 40,000 ringgit to 99,999 ringgit, they will be in Class B, and Class C, that is for investor who invest 100,000 ringgit and above. Hence, minimum additional investment for Class A is 500 ringgit. Class B and Class C is 100,000 ringgit. It is different with BSN Dana Shariah Money Market, where investor can invest by individual investor and corporate investor. Lastly, the amount of minimum additional investment for individual investor is also 500 ringgit and corporate investor is 100,000 ringgit.
Next is minimum initial amount. First, let's move to the Islamic Cash Management. The minimum initial investment for Class A is RM 5,000. For Class B is RM 40,000. For Class C, RM 100,000. The manager will decide by himself for the class of fund that you should invest based on the initial investment amount that you had given. The investor want to add the investment for the Class A, they have to add at least RM 500 ringgit. For Class B, RM 100,000. For Class C, same amount as Class B. Now, minimum initial amount for BSN Dana Shariah Money Market. Minimum initial investment for for BSN Dana Shariah Money Market divided by two sections, which is for individual investor. The minimum initial investors are RM500 at least. Next, the second is corporate investor. The minimum initial investment should be RM100,000.
Investors may request for an application before investing in these products. Investors need to check on the requirements needed to ensure that they are applicable to apply for this investment. The minimum initial investment for this product is divided into three classes, which are Class A, Class B, and Class C. For Class A, Class B, and Class C, the minimum initial investment is amounted to 5,000, 40 million, and 100 million respectively. It is important to note that the manager will decide the class of the fund for their investment based on their initial investment amount. Plus, the minimum additional investment for Class A is 500 and Class B and Class C is 100,000. Next, investors may submit applications to the manager with complete documentation on any business day, Monday to Friday, except public holiday, subject to the minimum initial investment and additional investment amounts or such amount as the manager may from time to time decide. If an application with complete documentation is accepted by the managers or their appointed distributors before 11 a.m. on a business day, it will be processed at the closing and AV per unit calculated at the end of the same business day. However, if an application with complete documentation is accepted by the manager or their appointed distributors after 11 a.m. on a business day, it will be processed at the closing and AV per unit calculated at the next business day. It is important to note that the manager reserves the right to change the stipulated amount from time to time. Investor may request for a lower amount subject to the manager's discretion to accept. For the first application, which is purchase, individual may open individual opening account form, transaction slip, a copy of the photocopy NRIC or passport or other valid document of identification. In addition, application for corporate, the documents needed are certified true copy of NRIC or passport or valid document of identification of the beneficial owners, board resolution including specimen signatures and list of authorized signatories or authorization for any persons to represent or open or operate on behalf of the organization, certificate of incorporation or certificate of registration business, registration certificate or relevant constituent documents or other similar documents duly certified true copy of letters form 9, 24, 49, memorandum and articles of association or constitution or bylaws, specimen card, directors and or other authorized personnel. Next, for a joint account, the documents needed are individual opening form, transaction form, letter of authorized, photocopy NRIC or passport or other document of identification, the unit holder acknowledgement for this individual, corporate and joint account or copy transaction slip and holder statement. Secondly, an individual, corporate and joint account individual who wants to apply for additional purchase needs to have the transaction form, the unit holder acknowledgement for this individual, corporate and joint account or copy transaction slip and holder statement. Lastly, for the switch, it is only applicable for individual or joint account under 81% only and corporate. The documents needed for individual or joint account are switch form, letter of authorization, joint account, deceased or sick client. However, for corporate, the documents needed are transaction form, board of resolution, specimen card for directors and or authorized personnel, the unit holder acknowledgement for individual or joint account and corporate are slip receive all document and holder statement. To add that, for any reason at any time, the manager may lower or raise the minimum initial or additional investment, switch and or transfer amounts where applicable in respect of the fund. This may apply either generally for all investors or specifically for any particular investor and for any period or periods of time at their discretion. In the event of the account of the fund has more than one registered owner, the first named unit holder as determined by reference to the original the fund account application form shall receive all confirmation advice, all notices and correspondence with respect to the fund account, as well as any redemption proceeds or income distribution or other distributions. In addition, such first name holder shall have the voting rights as permitted associated with such units. In the case of joint holders, any one of such joint holders may vote either personally or by proxy as comprised in the joint holding. If the joint holders are present at any meeting, either personally or by proxy, the joint holder whose name stands first in the unit holder register shall be alone entitled to vote. The unit trust funds are a collective investment scheme that pulls money from investor, invests it with an objective, and most importantly, managed by a professional fund manager. Investors should find a licensed and registered fund manager or registered company to invest. There are many reasons that encourage investors to invest, especially because of the benefit of diversification, highly liquid, and the fact it is managed by a professional fund manager. Investors invest in unit trust funds for a long-term period. In terms of growth and performance of unit trust funds, it indicates that the number of units in circulations, total number of launched funds, and net asset value and EV positively increase from year to year. The demand for Shariah-based unit fund also shows significant increase in trends. Shariah unit trust fund also increasing by year because nowadays trend seems like Shariah unit trust fund are high demand. Expected return for the investment is also stable and high, but due to the pandemic that just happens, it also affect the unit trust scheme. Shariah unit trust is a potential investment and people should consider as their investor instruments. Based on the research above, funds that provide better turnover and profit is Islamic cash management. The fund performance is better than, and also Islamic cash management provide 3 portfolios that public can invest. This will provide better chance for investors to get return. It also has the minimum initial investment compared with BSN Dana Shariah Money Market, which is 5,000 compared to 100,000. For the future, Islamic cash management has also stable performance and will give a good return for investors.